guys, today we are going to be talking about the OnePlus 7 Pro and if it still holds up in 2023. This thing came out in 2019 and does it still hold up 4 years later? Well, that's what we're going to find out in today's video. First off, let's talk about the build quality of this phone. Honestly, it's one of the most premium feeling phones I've ever felt because there's metal railing on the sides, there's a little bit of a curve right here on the back, and then we have glass on the full entire part of the back. And then also on the display, it's a curved Gorilla Glass display, and honestly, it looks fantastic, the entire build quality. You can see the triple camera setup right here, you can see the flash, you can see the logo right there. Besides that, it's pretty minimal. Now on this side right here, you can actually see an alert slider, which honestly is really rare for any kind of phone to have this, besides the iPhone. I don't think there's really any phones actually that have still the alert slider besides the iPhone, so pretty impressive right there. Next, let's talk about this display. It's a 6.67 inch 1440p AMOLED display, and honestly, it looks fantastic. And as you can see, it's pretty clear. I mean, it is extremely clear. It's probably one of the most clear phones ever because the PPI is probably over like 500 or something like that. And also it's curved. And another thing that's really impressive, even for 2019, is that it is a 90 Hertz display. So it's really impressive overall. One thing to note though, I will say, is that the brightness isn't amazing. I mean, I'm like in full sunlight right here. You can see this is basically full brightness, and even though you can see it, you probably won't be able to see it as well as some newer 2023 phones. However, another nice thing is that there is a pop-up camera here. Now, the pop-up camera means that there is literally no notch or anything like that. So there's just a pop-up camera, looks fantastic. The actual camera quality of this front camera is okay. I will say that it is mediocre because there is only 1080p 30 FPS video recording. However, honestly, it doesn't look terrible. And for 2019 standards, it was completely fine. In 2023 standards, it's not too great. However, it will totally do the job. So yeah. Well, that's a perfect segue into the cameras. So what do we got here? We got a triple camera setup. So we got a 48 megapixel main camera, we got a 16 megapixel ultra wide, and we got a 8 megapixel telephoto 3x lens. Now, I won't do a full camera test in this video. However, I will show you basically right now a few photos. And honestly, the camera quality is pretty good. It's very saturated, almost Samsung-like. And honestly, the quality and how much sharpness there is pretty good. It's not like too over sharpened. It just looks pretty good. Now, it doesn't look as good as something like a current iPhone or even an iPhone from that time. I mean, it was pretty close at that time, but it wasn't there yet. I mean, this wasn't made to be an insane like 1-inch camera sensor or something like that. Now this is a pretty, I mean, it's not like a super small camera sensor either. It's just like, it's fine. It will take good enough photos, definitely for the day-to-day person. However, what I have noticed is that in nighttime, it doesn't take the best nighttime photos. Not that it's not bright or anything like that. It's just that they're not the sharpest. They have a lot of grain and stuff like that and noise, and they're kind of blurry. So they're not the best for nighttime. However, these daytime photos are totally fine, as you can see up here in this, in these photos that I'm showing you. So yeah, honestly, not bad at all. I will say that a full camera test is coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so how does it do with games? Now, I already did a full gaming test a couple of years back, so if you want to see that, then the link will be in the description. However, I will show you Geometry Dash Light as an example of how well it plays and how good the display is, and also how good the speakers are. So this is basically the speakers at its highest point. As you can see, it's pretty good. Now, let's see if I can actually, I'm kind of looking through the phone screen right now, but let's try something that has a little bit more action going on. So let's try this. These speakers are honestly like perfect. They're great. They're pretty loud. They're just as good as any iPhone or anything like that. Apologies, I am terrible at this. Okay, let's try this again. Oh my god, okay, I'm so bad at this. But you kind of get the point. This is pretty good with gaming. I mean, basically any game can do 60 FPS. I will tell you right now, Call of Duty, I'm trying to think any other games that are like really like high performance. Call of Duty, PUBG, Fortnite, anything like this, that will basically play 60 FPS on this phone. Because this phone has the Snapdragon 855, so in terms of performance, it has the Snapdragon 855, it has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and honestly, this software right here, the software is still, even though I don't think it's the latest, I think it's Android 11 right now, this still runs perfectly. Like honestly, this runs with no flaws. You can see right here, this is like going full speed. There's no like lag or anything like that going on the main home screen. Opening apps, totally fine. No lag whatsoever. YouTube, let's see. Yeah, opening Geometry Dash. Okay, there's an ad. Let's see what else. I don't know. You can open any app, you can close them because there's like 8 gigabytes RAM. It's like perfect. So basically any app you can open with no lag whatsoever. And even though I don't think it's on the latest Android, you can't always just custom ROM it to the latest Android. So honestly, this phone is pretty great in terms of its software, in terms of its hardware. It's pretty great. So yeah. So is this phone worth it in 2023? Well, first off, let's just talk about what prices you will probably see. Going on eBay.com and searching up OnePlus 7 Pro, we will see that honestly, okay, this has a little bit of a burn, but here's something right here. 199 bucks. As you can see, it's extremely cheap. So I will say between like 180 to 190 bucks. And honestly, for that price, this phone is 100% worth it. Honestly, this phone has a little bit of a crack, but I got this for like 90 bucks. And for just this tiny crack right here, amazing deal. And I would highly recommend it. This still does, I believe, get security updates. So I could be wrong about that, but I believe, yeah, this does still get security updates. And this phone is still like, yeah, 4 years old. You can always custom ROM it. Still highly recommend it. But if you are a little bit worried about, you know, no software updates and stuff like that, I would recommend something a little bit newer, like the OnePlus 8 Pro or even the OnePlus 8. Those are still also really cheap. I just prefer this because it has the pop-up camera, which is awesome. So yeah, honestly, this phone is completely worth it. If you are looking for a phone in this price range, I would highly recommend it. You can even get the OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren edition for about 220 bucks, which is a little bit of an upgrade of this, and it has 5G. This, I believe, only has LTE, which, you know, still in 2023 is totally fine, but it is still getting a little bit old. So yeah, if you're thinking of buying this phone, highly recommend it. Anyways, guys, that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos because they are coming very soon. So see you guys later.